Hello, today is I think Sunday the 13th of September and I am in Switzerland in Canton Glarus, and today is my second day of hiking and I just took a small break. It's almost noon and I wanted to sort of show you what I did yesterday and where I'm going today. So the end goal of this trip is going to be that glacier over there. That is where Planurahütte is. I started yesterday in a village called Linthal. So if you see that mountain that goes down, it's at the base of that mountain. And then I came from Linthal yesterday past that lake and then behind this ridge here into that valley, and then I slept there at the base of that glacier. And I think I'm a little bit out of shape because of the whole coronavirus thing, and also I think I may have not drunk enough water yesterday. So I had a bit of an altitude sickness issue, and then I had to spend a little bit more time at this morning, take my time and drink water and sort of get back in shape. And today I came here, and this is the sort of like the valley where the other glacier flows into. And what we're going to do today is past that ridge, and then it's down, and it will be down for a while, and about 300 meters, and then we get in that valley somewhere, and then we're gonna have 1,000 meters to go up. So 1,000 meters is a lot. It's much higher, for example, than this mountain. Will be much higher than so yeah, it's pretty sweet out here. It's the weather is amazing. It's sunny but not too hot, with a little bit of wind. I had to make sure I wear enough sunscreen. The creeks are flowing so you can get water. There's no danger there. Although this valley is a bit karstic, so a lot of the water just sort of like seeps through. Especially there, a lot of the water on that side of the mountain seeps through. Yeah, so it's pretty sweet. The air smells amazing. Of sort of like mountain spices and little flowers that are just sort of now, they have one last chance to bloom before winter sets in. So for example, this guy, you call it's called, well, it goes by many names. I guess one of the popular names is a mouse tail. You can make tea with it. It's actually pretty flavorful. Then you get gentians. So see the purple there, the purple bell, that's the gentian. Right there, see there's like a speck of purple. No. So there's tons and tons of these flowers everywhere, and yeah, they're just sort of slowly baking in the last rays of summer. And yeah, nice. So the plan is to get to 3,000 meters, maybe do a couple hikes around the glacier there. I brought my crampons so I can do that, and then tomorrow I will be going straight down to the valley. Well, not straight down, I will be passing Fridolinshütte, so there will be a bit of climb tomorrow as well. It's not all straight down. It will be 500 meters up, 1,000 meters down, 500 meters up, then another 1,000 meters down. But it should be pretty nice. So yesterday I did 1,500 meters up, and today I'm gonna do the same, just higher altitude. I don't have a lot of snacks, but I did bring sort of enough money to buy snacks at the cabin. I didn't really prepare very well when I left because I was wrapping up a lot of work, and I didn't sleep that well the night before, and I sort of packed in a hurry. I also just wanted to show you, so see where the glacier is coming down? So if you look sort of like in the valley, you'll see that there is a side moraine, a lateral moraine. So you can tell sort of where the glacier dragged there, and on either side there's these hills, I suppose, that are they have this sort of like linear shape, and they're very steep on both sides. So that's where the glacier pushed the rubble to the sides as it was flowing down. Yeah. One feature that I think is very interesting in these mountains is, see that that yellow band? I'm not sure what it is. It's some deposit of a different type of rock, but I'm not sure what it is. I think this was a seabed once, but I'm not sure. But I think it was a seabed, and then it got pushed up, and then it sort of like eroded into these tower-like shapes. And on the other side of this crest, there's Mutze, and Mutze is I did a hike there last year. I guess I'll put the link in the description. It's a very it's a very deep lake. So there's like a valley that's almost 1,000 meters deep with sheer vertical cliffs, just like here. And then there's a lake at the bottom, and that is actually a hydroenergetic lake. It was converted into that. So that's also pretty cool. Yeah, Glarus is amazing. And on this, let me see, Linthal. Yeah, so that mountain group, so behind it, see this mountain? So behind it, there's this other mountain group. So that's where Kerpf is. And normally people ascend from the opposite side. They ascend from Schwanden, which is not visible. It's like somewhere there. It's a village, and then you ascend through. There's a valley in that mountain group there. There's a valley, and you come in from the north. Yeah. So this is looking south. Well, I guess you can tell because it's almost noon. Yeah, so I'm gonna rest for another 3 minutes, I think, and then I'm gonna go ahead because I got a lot of hiking to do today. But I'm also not in a hurry because I don't want to kill myself, because I always say it's a holiday, not a death march. So there's that. Okay, I would like to film a little bit up at the glacier as well, so I'm gonna stop here. Thanks for the patience. See you in a bit. Hello, it is now almost 5 p.m. and I made it to the top of the valley, and specifically I made it to Planurahütte, which is right there. And as you can see, it was totally worth it. The views, the 360 views are absolutely amazing. You've got glaciers on this side of the mountain ridge. You can see there's a small glacial lake there, because of course everything's melting. But these glaciers are still pretty solid. They're gonna be here for another, I think, 50 years. And you can tell that people are already sort of like walking on the glaciers. They do hikes from here. I don't know if you can tell, but for example, along this rim, there's a crampon trail, and I think 30 minutes earlier there were some people by the lake. Oh look, there's someone else coming from the hut. So I came up from this valley. If you remember where I was filming this morning, it was, if you follow that ridge line down, it would be somewhere down there that I was filming this morning. And then I came through there, and then I followed the glacial stream, and then let me just get closer to the edge, and then I climbed up, and then here there's a very, very rough patch. So normally a lot of this would have been on the glacier, but as you can see, the glacier is receding really fast, and there's quite a lot of really strenuous hiking to be done here at the end, with climbing, with a lot of climbing, and particularly at the end you get climbing on chains, both arms necessary, like the real deal. Yeah, and this is not an easy hike. This is not like a weekend hike. I don't know why they marked it as a T3. I think it's a T4 at least. It was 1,000 meters up just from the other cabin, and there isn't a lot of water along the way, so I had to stop at some point, and there was like this trickle of water that was coming down from some snowfield further up, but it was buried under the rocks, so I had to clear away the rocks to find the stream to fill my water bottle because I was running out. I sweat like a horse. I had to wash off like caked salt from my face twice and reapply sunscreen. Well, the weather was pretty good. The weather was really sunny throughout the day. You can see that there's some spotty clouds, but basically it was sunny throughout the day and it was really amazing. So there's nothing to complain about there. But I would not recommend this as a T3 hike. This is Tödi. It is the highest, I think, peak in Canton Glarus. And you can tell that it's glaciated. Usually people, I think it's 3,600 meters or so, usually people attempt it from the other side because the side with the glacier is a lot smoother, and then when you climb you don't have to climb through all this jagged crags. You can see there's still a little bit of glacier on this side as well, but it's melting, so I think it's going to be gone in 20 years. So this entire valley, let's say 10,000 years ago, used to be filled with ice. And you can tell that the level of the ice during the last ice age was really just sort of like around that level where the glacier, you see the glacier now where the Bergschrund is. But yeah, so there's global warming for you. I mean, don't get me wrong, these glaciers have been melting for a very, very long time. They've been melting for 10,000 years. But the melting has accelerated now that you're sort of like on the last 100 meters of ice. So you can tell, for example, this guy is going to be gone in 20 years. And I can tell because for a glacier to sort of survive, you need an area that is still covered, where the snow from previous years survives year after year and gets compacted down into ice. This is called the accumulation zone. So it would be things like what you see there. That's called fern. Unfortunately, so when that sort of like has melted away, what's left to melt is the ice itself, and then if this cycle repeats year after year, it sort of like just gets thinner and thinner every year until it disappears altogether. So this guy's a goner. This guy's gonna be gone in maybe like 30 years. This guy, I think, has at least 50 years left in him, just because of the sheer volume of ice. Yeah, so there's a bunch of cool mountains in this area. There's that guy's 3,000 meters. I want to attempt that guy today. I'm not sure before or after dinner. Probably after, because I'm feeling a bit lazy now. And so I'm gonna hang around the hut, try to sort of like make my bed, prepare for the night. Last night I didn't sleep well at all, and it was only 2,000 meters and now it's 3,000, so the air is actually really thin. If I exert myself, I have to breathe in like twice as much as I would at sea level, just to sort of get the same amount of oxygen. So you definitely have to take it easy. I kind of ran out of, I still have cookies, but I ran out of like serious food. So tomorrow, but luckily tomorrow I'm going back in the valley to Linthal, which is there somewhere. And it's not a short walk, it's like 15 kilometers, but it's all downhill, so it should be fairly easy. Well, not all, like there will be a 500 meter climb at some point, but it shouldn't be too hardcore. And yeah, so I'm glad I did this. It was on my bucket list for about 2 years now. That being said, I don't think I would have been able to do it 2 years ago because I didn't have the experience that I have today. So it really required a lot of like hardcore alpine trekking over the past 2 summers and even winters to get in shape, and not just that, but sort of like to gain the confidence and to sort of like kill my fear of like just get used to the terrain, kill my fear of heights, kill my fear of like what if anything goes wrong. So that required a little bit of preparation work to get to nail down. And yeah, maybe I could have done this last summer, but I don't think I could have done this 2 years ago. So you can tell there that there's a bit of the glacier that's missing, so that actually melted away down to the bare rock. So yeah, not even this valley is safe. So this valley is actually on the border between 2 cantons. I think everything that flows sort of like down there is Canton Glarus, and I forget what's on the other side. It's I forget, either Uri. No, I think we're too far north. I'm not sure which one, but there's another canton down that way. Okay, so I think for the rest of the evening I'm gonna take it easy, soak in the views, maybe have a cup of coffee, and then can you hear there's eagles? Yeah, there's a bunch of eagles. There's one, I don't know if you see it, there was one here, like they're everywhere. There's like 5 or 6. Yeah, so like I said, I'm super happy I've done this. I'm super happy I've done this year when I'm prepared. The corona thing sort of really messed up my summer because I was very out of shape, and I also didn't sort of like feel confident enough to leave my apartment all the time, and there were periods when even the huts were, because the huts are now very low occupancy because they are afraid that people are going to bring coronavirus to the mountains. So there's the whole process, and there aren't as many beds as there normally would be, so it's definitely a different experience. But I'm glad I found time to do it this year, and I look forward to the rest of the fall. Now it's going to be a little bit calmer because there's not so many international tourists coming to Switzerland, so, and it's getting a little bit colder, so, and kids go back to school, so all these things are sort of conspiring to make more room in the cabins, so I can do more cool stuff this fall. And yeah, and then it's winter again. Woohoo! So I'm gonna briefly show you where I came up. So there's this glacier here. You have to go up on the glacier, actually. I'll show you from the other side, but there's a lot of climbing involved. Well, not a lot, but there's climbing involved, and you have to pay attention. So it's not really easy peasy, but with a bit of patience and with sure-footedness. So you see there's a cliff here, so there's a sheer drop, and then you have to kind of like climb up and down this cliff to the glacier, and then you have to do a bit on the glacier, and then you get back to solid ground. Yeah, so see, this is the last segment where these 2 people are climbing up. So you come from that spur, then you have to traverse that face along that sort of ledge, and then you hop onto the glacier somewhere there. Then you do a small bit on the glacier, and then it's straight up where that guy came up. And then from there on, it's still dangerous, but not so dangerous anymore. But I would say this is one of the most dangerous parts of the entire thing. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Uphill it's always easier than downhill, so we'll see how it goes tomorrow morning on those chains. Okay, see you later.